All right, guys. I'll get you on some injury updates here in a second, but to play just about everybody on your roster, find a way to win the turnover battle. It was far from pretty. There's 1,000 things we got to clean up, but we've been trying to really build this team with the mentality of knowing what we know with our organization with the turnovers and knowing how our defense. If we get those opportunities from them, we protect the ball on offense. Got to cut down penalties, especially in the kicking game. But I thought there were some really good examples of just, continuing to play smart football. We can absolutely elevate the level of execution. I did like really what I saw out of the first group offensively with the run game, and comes down to a third down there in the high red. And, I think a little bit more time on task with everybody involved and understanding where we, whether a guy's sitting down or staying on the move. That's the difference between staying on the field right there and maybe punching the ball in the end zone. But I thought Kyler had command early. It was great to see him go out there and run the show, move the team, make a third down conversion to J.A., made a good catch there. And we're able to get points. And that's the way, starting the game off, getting points and allowing our defense as much as we can to play for a lead is going to be critical. And then we saw some really nice performances individually throughout the team throughout the day. But overall, a lot to improve on. Big week ahead with Baltimore coming in for 2 days of joint work and then opening up U.S. Bank Stadium. So, a lot to get back to and get right back to the grind of quote-unquote training camp. And I'm very much looking forward to do that. Just injury-wise, obviously Jamal Adams with a right knee. Initial exam does not look good. Don't want to, confirm anything till we see the imaging on that, and I'll keep you guys updated there. Caleb Tiernan had a left ankle, and then Max Brosmer, had a right thumb. We wanted to be smart with that. We'll obviously image that. Don't have anything on that yet, but we just, didn't want him as much as he wanted to go back in the game. We just wanted to be sure that he didn't have anything in there, and Carson was able to come back in, and did like the way we, situationally ended the game from a standpoint of getting 2 first downs backed up like that, and thought it was a big deal to be able to take a knee in your first game of the year in victory formation. Open it up to you guys.
Jamal, Josh was telling us about how Jamal had talked to the team this week and kind of shared some of his story. When injuries have been such a big part of it, to see another one come up, what does that kind of make you feel as a coach?
Yeah, I told the team after the game, this guy's come in, and just impacted our organization. He's energy every day, affecting people in a positive way. We've absolutely loved his play style, his competes, and he was, genuinely carving out a significant role for himself, and he was doing that just by totally being all in on the process and a part of Flo's defense. So there's a lot of guys in there that are crushed for him. We don't know exactly what it is yet, but we are going to wrap our arms around him, top to bottom in our organization, and we're going to support him because he's earned a lot of people's respect in a very short amount of time, and that's what he deserves, and I know that's how our players and coaches feel.
It looked like Kyler was doing a lot pre-snap, just getting you guys in certain plays. For him to be at that point already, how nice was it to see?
Yeah, we've been, we're doing a lot, in our run game on those early downs, and we may not have, shown a lot of the things that maybe we've been working on, but there was still some principles of, some emphasis on what we want to go out and see. And I thought the guys ran off the ball. I thought they were physical. Thought both Jordan and Aaron found some good creases in there, and we were kind of, sustaining some plays, convert a third down. That's what, we're going to need to be. And then as you're able to do that with that same group in there, hopefully drive in and drive out, then you start, getting some of the, pretty conducive looks to maybe get to some other things in your arsenal. But to me, we wanted to come in here and see that group go out and run the football. They were able to do that. Would have loved, like I said, to finish with a touchdown. But, yeah, Kyler's done a great job from an above-the-neck standpoint, being able to handle it. That was really our first time off the play clock, working like the sideline to quarterback communication, his command of the huddle. There was a lot of really positive things that we saw out of that first group. And it, 8 plays, it took everything in me not to, keep him out there. But we kind of got a lot of the things we wanted to see out of that group done, and obviously a big week with the joint practices. Those guys will get a ton of work between Wednesday and Thursday.
You mentioned the third down there with Aaron, just trying to figure out if he's sitting down or keeping
Yeah.
on the route. How much does that just come down to those guys getting more time together?
Yeah, it does, and it's we went with kind of a quick count. You never know in these preseason games exactly what you're going to see defensively, so it's kind of a standard across the board kind of play. Everybody gets set, and he kind of got through his progression, and Aaron's probably the throw. Just a zoning look there, just falling forward for the first down, and here we go. We're 1st and 10 inside the red zone, and see if we can put the ball in the end zone. But that's going to be part of it. And we've gotten a lot of work all over the field in training camp, whether it's been, pass likely, the ton of early down work to really establish what we want to be from a run game standpoint. And then we've really worked red zone as of late, and that's all stuff we'll continue to build out. We got 2 great days planned versus Baltimore, and then a bunch of time leading up into the season to make sure we get these guys on the same page. And what I am seeing though is a confident group. I think they feel like they're gelling, they're coming together in a way that they know what we're trying to get done. They know the philosophy behind it, and as we're able to kind of fully unleash what we're doing, we expect to see the play style hold up and really be a part of what we want to be.
Coach Miles has put together several strong days at camp, just having the day that he did on the contested catches.
No, Miles, I thought that was a phenomenal catch to kind of, get us going a little bit from Cars trusting it, anticipating it, and catch and run there. And then, it was, in these games when you kind of get down personnel groupings, you can't get, we didn't have enough to go real big. So, trying to run the football in and the goal to go can be difficult, especially when they're committing so many people running through gaps and things like that. So the fade route right there to Miles, thought it was he worked his release, and Carson, put it out there for him. It's not all the time you throw the ball to one of your shortest receivers on a fade, but that's a credit to Miles. Both the catch he went up and got in the field, and like you said, that fade route to turn that turnover sudden change into points really won us the football game, along with not turning it over and how well our defense played.
Coach, you talk about the offensive unit. Can you talk about how the offensive line got on the second level really quick in the first half? And as a football game, everything starts up front. So how do you feel about that?
Yeah, I think that's been a huge point of emphasis. Is we want to run off the football. We want to get into these combinations. We want to play on the other side of the line of scrimmage, and I thought it showed up. It'll be exciting to jump on the plane and watch the tape and see exactly what it looked like. But it felt like, especially through those first 8 plays, we were really kind of sequencing up, some things, on that first and second level, like you're talking about. That bode really well for where we want to go as a football team. But it's massive, and it's something that we have a total commitment to, and look forward to seeing it kind of build out from here.
What did you think of just JJ's, I think it was 14 snaps, and just the way he operated back?
Yeah, I loved, there was a snap in there where, they, I think they called him for both corners might have got called for either holding or PI on that, but he hung in the pocket, had a little push there, and was able to throw the ball, in between the numbers, in the intermediate part of the field, which I thought was big time. Thought he had a chance on the third down to Jay Sean to keep the first drive going, and just kind of one of those need to lead him out there, give him a chance to make a play on the ball, and tight coverage, and that's the way it's going to be on third down. But overall, I thought, there was a couple little things here and there. His first play of the day was not a quarterback sweep. We did want to hand that ball off to the jet sweep runner, and luckily we were able to come back, get Dylan a couple, and find a way to get some positive yards with how much they were trying to, infiltrate the interior of our O-line. So, but yeah, we were trying to get that ball out on the edge there, and when JJ had the ball, my life was flashing before my eyes on his first snap of the day.
Jacoby Thomas, okay?
Yeah, no, he's been dealing with a little bit of just back stiffness, soreness. He's been going through Indy, and we're kind of trying to see where he's at for his ability to move forward. But yeah, we'll definitely want to, hopefully, I'll keep you guys posted on it. But it's better to be smart with it early on, And then he's such a physical player. We want to make sure he's good to go, and when he is, we'll get him back in the rotation a little bit.
Kevin, with Jamal, I know you don't want to get into the extent of it, but just
Yep.
in terms of what happened there, what did he say, or what was your impression of how the injury happened?
Yeah, I can't really speak to it. When I got a chance to talk to him, it was more obviously just in a supportive role. He was pretty emotional, pretty upset. And my job in that moment is to be there for him. I got to go back and look at it, see exactly what happened on the play. But it just kills you. It absolutely guts you to know. I can remember vividly sitting in my office with him when we hosted him on a visit, and just was enamored with the energy, the positivity, and this guy just wanted to come in and be a Minnesota Viking, and he was doing a hell of a job and impacting a lot of people, young guys, veteran guys, just, a lot of respect for what that guy's accomplished in the league within our team, but he wasn't taking that, for granted and expecting anything. He was earning everything, and by the day he was getting more and more and more, so just absolutely crushed for him. Really am, Ben.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, guys.